I'm Russ, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'm actually going to be pulling Sacred Shards. I have 11 Sacred Shards, which means I should pull a legendary. It's for every 12 Sacred Shards you have right now, because there's a 2x event, you should get a legendary. But there's also this fusion right now going on for Morrigan, Undead Hordes for the Halloween fusion, and probably the best time to pull your shards, any type of shard, is when there's a 2x event and it's helping you get a legendary. Now, from what I've watched or read so far, she's not anything too crazy. I've heard people compare her to Lysandra. Go through her kit real quick. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance. I think 75 when booked. Placing decreased speed. She decreases the speed of one enemy. It's not a great ability. This True Fear, it's okay. Waves or in arena, or if you want to use her for bosses, or if you fight bosses with her decreased accuracy. I don't know if she would be really. I guess with her increased turn meter and decreased turn meter, it's just this A3. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's certain bosses that if you can decrease their turn meter, it'd be helpful. But again, this is kind of, it's not the same as Lysandra's kit, but it's similar in the fact that you're going to increase your turn meter, decrease theirs. Could be a helpful, again, a magic affinity. Lysandra's spirit. So she might be a good, like, go alongside like a speed lead, like an arbiter, and be like your second champion to kind of help get your team to go even faster to make sure you go first. That's where I'm going to use her. That's where I'm going to build her out once I eventually get her. I'm going to test her in arena or in tag team arena to see how viable she is there. At the start of each turn, also places 100% heal reduction. So I don't know how helpful that is for the arena. Heal reduction is really good against Agarith. So yeah, maybe she'd work against certain bosses, maybe some Doom Tower. I definitely play around with her. It's kind of this, I've heard from other content creators or what I've watched on YouTube, is no one's really, I think, too excited about her. But no one's actually got her and built her yet. And maybe she's better than we think. But there's kind of the whole mentality of, if you can get a legendary champion, you should try and get them. You never know if they might buff the champion. They might be better than you think. And for this event, I know people have talked about, you can't miss any of the events or tournaments. There's no extra epic that you can pull. You can't pull them, I think, from shards, from what I've heard. And there's no extra of the rare champions that you need. There's no extra ones available. So you need to do every single event. So yeah, so I know people are a little upset about that. So this is a difficult one. You want to make sure like you're jumping on it first thing and you're either all in or not. Because of the Sacred Shard 2x event, I have 11 of them. I just want a reason to pull shards because I would like some new champions. Before I get into that really quick, there is a new promo code. I actually used it earlier today, but it's look behind you. Look behind you is the new promo code, and it's going to get you, it's for Halloween, it's going to get you the arena tokens, some multi-battles, some XP, and a couple energies. So definitely make sure you get in there for the Halloween, just free little gift. But yeah, let's get into the Sacred Shards. There is a 10x chance champion. I'm not going to go into his kit. Pretty much from what I've seen, he's a Hydra specialist. He's going to help in Hydra. I don't necessarily want him, but I just really want to pull shards. I don't want to wait till Sunday, where he's a 10 times of
On top of the 2 times event for Sacreds, you have a 10 times chance of pulling him for today, which is Friday. It's about 1:30 a.m. Friday morning. So Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday it's just a 2 times chance without him. But let's see if I can get lucky and start off first shard. 11 shards. Let's see who I get. Oh, the rat. I don't think the rat's very good. I've not built him. I have a couple of him. Not excited about him. Ooh, this guy though. I don't know how to say that name. Anchorite. He's pretty interesting. Attacks all enemies, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of the damage inflicted. It's okay. Removes 1 random debuff from all allies, then increases the duration of all allies' buffs. Ooh, increases their buffs. Kind of like a Sandlash Survivor, and then increased crit rate, increased crit damage. I have him. I know he's part of a different fusion, and I got him and I maxed him to level 50 and ascended him, and then just never put gear on him. I didn't do the I didn't finish the fusion, so I might need to try building him out and see if he's viable anywhere. Oh, Jotun, not who I'm looking for. Let's see. Speaking of Sandlash, there's Sandlash, great champion. I use her even against negative affinity, I use her in all my Demon Lord clan boss teams. For this ability, attacks all enemies, it decreases the duration of all enemies' buffs by 1, increases the duration of all allies. So all my shields and everything, I don't have an unkillable team. I could build one, but I just decided I have a shield-based team, so I use Sandlash as my lead. Oh, the hooded. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, don't know her, don't care. I have pretty much every epic. I have every epic that's non-void in the game. So epics aren't really what I'm looking for. I'm not excited about it. Don't need them. But I do need a legendary. Okay. This is. Wait a second. Did we just do a fusion? Wow. She was just available for something, right? Man, I'm spacing on it now. Attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Has a 50% chance of placing up to 2. Didn't we this was the last fusion, right? Attacks all enemies. I didn't do the fusion for her. Attacks 75% chance of placing a hex. That's right, yes. She was the last fusion, sorry. I'm surprised. That's awesome. Got a legendary champion, attack base, has a lot of hex, unkillable. From what I guess we'll go through our kit really quick. Sorry, a little flustered. Attacks 1 enemy 2 times, has a 50% chance of placing up to 2 extra hits if the target is under a hex. The chance to place each extra hit is calculated individually per hit. Okay, so the whole hex mechanic. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a hex debuff and a 60% decreased defense. So decreased defense and hex. Attacks all enemies, will ignore unkillable. That's awesome. Kind of like the Bode, whatever, the Shadowkin. Attacks all enemies, unkillable and shield. Wow, buff if targets are under hex. So if they're under hex, unkillable and shield doesn't protect them. Places an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy without a hex buff. Places an unkillable buff for 2 turns instead if it kills the enemy under hex. Places herself under unkillable. Resets the cooldown of her A3 skill whenever this champion kills an enemy. Wow, under hex. Wow, that's a really good I remember when she came out and content creators talking about her, just someone who can do possibly a lot of damage with the whole hex mechanic. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll have to build her out and see how much damage she does and see if she is a viable arena and or tag team. She does look at how cool that is. Dark elf, huh? She is really cool. I do have, to get off subject really quick, I've not built it. I know I've been really slacking, and maybe with the current tournament stuff to try to get this new legendary champion, I will work on building out my other champions. But speaking of hex, well, first of all, Medusa is awesome. She has her hex ability. Attacks all enemies, places hex debuff for 2 turns, also places a increased defense, increased attack. Great skill. So there's my hex. I mean, and that new champion has Polar, I don't remember her name. She places her own hex as well, but there's another hex. But then there's the Death Angel, who I have right here. Out of the Doom Tower. So if you're in Doom Tower hard, you'll eventually get her. But her, I know she does a lot of damage, but it's all based off hex. Attacks 2 times at random. Not great. We like to see AoE. Has a 75% chance of placing a hex debuff for 5 turns. Wow. This debuff cannot be resisted. Each critical hit decreases the cooldown of Not of This World skill by 1. Okay. Attacks all enemies. Damage increases by 50% for each hex buff the enemy debuff on the enemy team. Stacks to 300%. So there's the damage dealer right there. And places perfect veil buff on the champion for 3 turns and grants an extra turn. Has 50% chance of placing True Fear. So with Medusa, Hex, Tomb Angel, and then the Hunt. This guy, Rule Huntmaster. Attacks one enemy, places has a 50% chance of placing decreased debuff. Targets transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target if the target is under hex. We want more hex. Attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under hex. Where's this hex? Here we go. Places a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns, then places a hex buff on all allies for 2 turns. These 4 champions, I'm curious. This is kind of like a same thing with like the freeze champions. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. You stack all these attack-based champions with all their hexes, they're going to do a ton of damage. I'm just curious where, is it in Doom Tower waves? Is it where in the game is it most viable? I wonder. But I would love to build those. I need to build those mechanics out. Sorry, sidetracked. Wanted to build her out. Happy I got a legendary. All these hex mechanics are starting to kind of come together as we get more and more champions with hex. So yeah, I'm excited. I really need to build them all out to kind of see what they can do. And there we go. Spider is my last epic. Got a legendary. Let's see how much. This is what I was really. Oh, got my new guy. Got a Lego book. Some energy. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm excited I got a legendary. That's all I was really looking for. A new one. One I happened to not do the Fusion 4. So it's kind of cool. I didn't have to use all those resources and I got a new champion. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you later.